Greetings, fellow nerfers. Okay, next step I'm going to work on is the magazine well. So as you can recognise this is the half of the body, and what I've just done is roughly cut out a bit of these supports, which is just about the same thickness as the nylon. Not quite there yet, but you know, little by little. Now what I'm going to do is place this piece, get it as accurate as I can, the outside edge, or well the inside, the centre, on a line somewhere here, and match it to the centre. These are my two reference points, up this end and down this end. Unfortunately I haven't got anything in here. But once I get them lined up on the same line, I can then trace the inside shape, which I can then cut out, cut the piece of paper out roughly, fold it over, trim it, unfold it. I should have the same shape mirrored both sides. So we'll give that a shot. Put it there. And if I just rock it, I'll see if it hits that line. No, it doesn't. Okay, we'll try that. So what I'm getting now is I'm afraid of that because that's on a different plane. Okay, so that is very roughly the inside of my shape. What do you call it? Recess. Let's see if I can zoom in for you there. See that bit there? So what I'll do, I'll just chop out this piece of paper, fold that over, which will be along this line here. So I'll take it in there, fold it over, cut it out, trace that to a piece of the nylon chopping board that's big enough, and then actually cut the nylon out. Of course I won't try and make it match that, I'll make it a bit bigger, and it'll be a case of cutting and fitting and cutting and fitting. And I won't be doing any more of those magic time-lapse things because it doubles the compiling time on the video and triples the upload time. So we'll fade out here and I'll get back to you in a sec. Okay guys, there's my little bit I cut out, and there's the nylon I've marked just by putting it over and whacking a bit of, putting a texture marker in it. Now, although this tongue out here is also part of the magazine, that is already moulded in. So I realised I didn't have to cut up right up there, and also there is a corner of that piece, so you know I could cut another piece and put it in there, but what's the point when there's something already there? So it doesn't matter, and it eliminates the need to make some sort of angled joint out of this nylon board. So what I'll do is I'll chuck this on my coping saw, scroll saw, cut it out, and we'll do all the sanding and fitting, the tedious part. Alright, talk to you again soon. Okay guys, now as you can see I've got the piece almost cut to shape. That's just to remind me which is inside and outside, and it fits in there almost perfectly. Just got to do a little bit of trimming up here. So, you know, in the efforts of, you know, information sharing, I just thought I'd show you. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit low on one side. So I'm going to try and even that up. Now what I'm going to do is use my belt sander here. The belt here is pretty good. Cut through things really quick. There's a disc here that you stick on a disc sanding pad. But that cuts things really, really quick. And what I've found recently, especially working with Nerf guns and nylon, this is just, what's on here is just the gum left from the last stick-on disc, and a bit of the disc itself, but it's pretty smooth. But it cuts through this stuff like butter, so it'll be perfect. So I'll get started, show you a bit of this, and then we'll fade out and move on. Okay guys, as you can see, that cuts pretty quickly. You see I'm almost there. It's getting a little bit delicate to rely on this thing, so I'll get back to the Dremel and cut a few little shavings off there. One thing you may have noticed is I used my little rusty old craft knife X-Acto to cut off this white stuff, the shavings, because you might think this Nerf plastic gets hot when you use your Dremel on it, but this stuff, oh, it's pretty bad. So watch out if you use one of these, grind some of this nylon, even with the Dremel. The melted waste will stick to you and it burns. Okay, well, let's go back to the main table. Okay guys, back at the main table. Now, as you can see, this fits in pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Bit of a tight fit there. So what I'm going to do is get my Dremel, just gently cut these corners bit by bit, work it down, and then we have to make a channel, a cutout there for the actual whole magazine to fit in, as you can see. But I'll more than likely leave that for tomorrow. I had a long day, pretty tired. So, show you a little bit of that, then we'll move on. Okay, I'll just do two little reference notches, just so I know when I'm coming in from either side not to go too far. Now, there is somewhere around here, I keep losing it, of course I left it up next to the bench grinder, so just make sure this is in shot. Okay, little mark there, little mark there. So just so I know where I'm at, I know roughly that's what I've got to do, but I'm not going to just cut in there and cut down there. I'm going to come in little gentle little shaves either side, make it fit, because the tighter it fits, the more it's going to support itself, the less glue I have to use, the less holes I have to drill, etc, etc. So I'll get on with that and we'll go from there.